The history of Cuban cigars goes back to the time of Christopher Columbus, who discovered the indigenous people smoking tobacco leaves that were rolled in corn husks. The Spanish quickly began cultivating tobacco in Cuba, which became known for its flavor and aroma. The cigar-making process involves a delicate combination of skill and knowledge, with tobacco leaves harvested, dried, fermented, and aged before they are rolled into cigars. Master blenders and rollers play a critical role in creating the perfect blend of tobacco for each cigar. With the rise of cigar factories in Cuba, the cigar industry flourished in the 19th century, with the establishment of cigar factories throughout the country. Cigar factories enabled greater efficiency and consistency in the production of cigars, leading to the creation of some of the world's most iconic cigar brands, such as Montecristo and Cohiba. The demand for Cuban cigars in the United States, where consumers were willing to pay top dollar for high-quality cigars, also contributed to the industry's success. The impact of the Cuban Revolution on the cigar industry in 1959 it was devastating. The Cuban Revolution brought Fidel Castro to power. He nationalized the cigar industry and expropriated family-owned factories, which led to the flight of cigar makers from the country. Many of these cigar makers settled in other countries, such as the Dominican Republic, Honduras, and Nicaragua, where they established new factories and continued to produce high-quality cigars. The exiled cigar makers who left Cuba after the revolution brought their expertise and knowledge to other countries, establishing new cigar factories and reviving the industry. Some of the world's most famous cigar brands, such as Arturo Fuente and Padron, were established by Cuban exiles who started over in new countries. These cigar makers were able to continue the tradition of Cuban cigar making, producing high-quality cigars that rival those made in Cuba. The history of Cuban cigars is rich and complex, from their early origins to the establishment of cigar factories in Cuba, and the impact of the Cuban Revolution on the industry. Despite the nationalization of the cigar industry in Cuba, exiled cigar makers were able to continue the tradition of Cuban cigar making in other countries, bringing their expertise and knowledge to new places and establishing some of the world's most iconic cigar brands. Here at Babalu Cigar Company, we keep the tradition alive by making the finest cigars available, handmade by our Cuban cigar rollers in the time-honored tradition that makes cigars so amazing.